So just because it's on camera and because I'm a podcaster, it's not cool?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just that
women, you actually like got to consent to want to have sex with you. And if you're giving them money, that just feels kind of...
I mean, so you're going to essentially have a full-blown porn company.
Yeah. It's basically this like bacterial infection. The STD test that they give you, don't test for it. A ton of people in the industry have gotten it.
When I was like 21, didn't realize that she was underage. But then we started talking on the phone one time and she just told me right away, like, because I talked about how I had like spoken to her online when she was younger.
And so I don't know, I just wasn't worried about fucking some fat girl that I met at the bar. Like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. There's no like mystery about it. There's no flirting. It's just like a body. It was nice to be able to nut on her boobs or whatever, but let's be real, like, it would have been nice if she could have at least like, give me a little glug. God damn it, what the fuck?
My ex-girlfriend came out with this accusation saying that I raped her, which is, after that happened, many hours of investigation. The investigators told them that they didn't have anything solid to go on.
And then you lost your record deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this video is going to cover every allegation of misconduct against the Emperor of No Jumper, Adam Grandmason. Adam's been accused over and over again by many different people of doing some very disturbing things to his alleged victims. And I just wanted to cover all of it for you in case you forgot or don't know allegedly how incredibly dangerous and predatorial this guy is. This guy is one sick son of a bitch. Of course, this is all just my opinion. Nothing here is stated as fact. So let's get into the video here. So the first thing on the list here is the infamous tweets. These are insanely disturbing tweets that Adam put out when he was in his mid-20s and really made it clear what he's probably interested in. I mean, he's not looking for any older women, if you catch my drift. So you got these tweets, but what comes next is actually physical. So apparently Adam was online dating a 16-year-old teenage sophomore in high school from Canada when he was over 21 years old.
Really getting into the conversation, she told me she was underage. It's a big deal in America. In Canada, not necessarily as big a deal because, you know, it's legal there. But I've also like heard from like every Canadian person I ever talked to that that's still like looked down upon. You know?
So obviously it's not cool to be romancing teenage girls over the internet when you're in your 20s. And he would get dragged for this online as it resurfaced. But this girl actually accused him of the R word. I was like, no, just stop, she said. I was pushing him off me and my hands were pushing him, really just barricading my vagina with my hands. Like, no, don't go there. Don't put your fingers in there. Don't go anywhere in there. I don't want that. He easily had 100 pounds on me. So anyways, go check out this Pitchfork article that got written about all this stuff. This is too disturbing for me to continue, so let's move on. All right, this next allegation is from a girl who says she met Adam 22 in 2005 on a message board, and when they met in real life, he had committed the R word against her, allegedly, of course, but these are her words, not mine. At first, I was okay with it, but quickly became uncomfortable as it went further than I wanted it to go. I was terrified and froze while he had sex with my basically lifeless body. I was too afraid to fight back in fear that he would hurt me. Wow. Okay, so this is pretty sick, and it does sound consistent with what we just heard with the Canadian teen. I mean, I was getting the two stories confused when I was writing this thing, so, you know, it's very similar. And Adam has been physical towards women in the past, as you see here in this Daily Beast article. He talks about sending a woman well, let's just read it. I then felt it would be a good idea to point the water bottle in her face and spray it. This provoked her even more, so she pushed me back onto her roommate's bed and punched me again. I reacted by lifting both of my feet, planting them in her chest as hard as I could, and sending her flying back 10 feet into the roommate's desk. He concluded, I got up, looked at her just sitting there dazed in a pile of furniture and books, and said, "You're a crazy bitch," and walked out to my car and went home. Wow. Okay, so he basically kicked the girl in the chest and sent her flying across the room. Now, I want to show you guys something here. Adam 22's legs are so huge and so unnaturally behemoth that, I mean, they're terrifying. It's almost like he's like a massive hobbit. You know what I mean? He's built like a kangaroo. So you got this kangaroo guy, and could you imagine getting kicked in the chest by this guy? He said he did it as hard as he could. Look at those legs. His kneecaps are bigger than his whole head. Okay, look at this. Okay. So anyways, I thought this would just be an honorable mention. All right, now this is going to bring us to the allegations by the one-armed girl. Now, the one-armed girl is a girl by the name of Lauren Duck. And I guess she's lost her arm in a motorcycle accident. So you have this like beautiful girl with one arm, and she starts a GoFundMe for a bionic, like a fake arm. And so she's got this GoFundMe for this astronomical amount of money, and it started going viral. And, you know, Adam taps in with viral stuff. He had her on the No Jumper podcast. And then after the podcast, he and her had a sexual encounter, and she accuses him of filming that encounter without her consent, which is sexual assault. Adam would defend himself by saying that he only filmed 8 seconds of it and that she was aware that he was doing it. Well, she says she wasn't aware that he was going to do it. And so it seems like Adam's sickness is deeply rooted into this filming thing. He likes to film things and show his friends. Allegedly. This is a quote from Adam22. How much a woman enjoys sexual activity is usually not highly correlated to how much fun I'm having, though. So I didn't give it much thought. What a fucking piece of shit. So Lauren Duck wouldn't come out publicly with this information, but she did come out later on during the time when everyone was coming forward against Adam and when he got canceled and he lost his record deal, allegedly. So when Adam and Lena the Plug made their video statement addressing all the allegations, they seemed to just sort of focus everything on Lauren Duck and make her out to be this big liar. And the whole response video was basically just Adam and Lena focusing on Lauren Duck when there was a bunch of other allegations going on that were much more serious.
My ex-girlfriend from like 10 years ago came out with this accusation saying that at the beginning of our relationship that I raped her, which is insane because, I mean, you know, there's absolutely no evidence. There's nothing to corroborate it. There's absolutely nothing to go on. But after that happened, Lauren decided that she wanted to, you know, sort of jump on the bandwagon and start to, you know, say that she didn't like me.
I remember right when those accusations came out that she initially reached out to you and was like, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you, as any friend would.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like trashing me and you on the timeline.
Yeah, as soon as
defending you.
As soon as it became more beneficial to her to jump on the bandwagon, she went for it. But
due to the Xanax, I don't remember it. There was a part that I do remember, which was him recording me without my consent and me saying, "Are you recording me?" And I don't remember much else. And then they posted a fucking screenshot of Adam texting me saying he's sorry I was like catching flack for it on the internet, and I literally respond by saying I don't know what's happening. Like, I admit in the text I didn't know anything about the situation. And then he says that he didn't show anyone the video that he took without consent, and then a few minutes later says that he showed it to his friends. Even the fans know that they're just putting this on me because he doesn't want to comment on the multiple other women that full out said that he raped them. I
mean, you got to admit, that's a pretty glaring point when you got multiple women coming out against you, you know, saying that you raped them. You know, I get that there's some people that are scorned and, you know, there's ex-lovers that come out and say that you raped them and stuff. But when multiple people that don't know each other come out and say this, it's probably true, right? And not all the allegations against Adam22 are rape allegations. A lot of them are sexual coercion allegations. Sexual coercion is unwanted sexual activity that happens when you're pressured, tricked, threatened, or forced in a non-physical way. All right, let me break this down into an analogy. Let's say you have a really popular podcast and there's a girl that really wants to be on your podcast and you say, okay, yeah, sure, you could be on my podcast, let's say in a week. And she says, okay, great, a week sounds great. Then the next day you text her and you say, hey, what are you doing? You want to come over and have sex? If she doesn't go over and have sex, she might feel like you won't follow through with the podcast next week, right? So she goes over and has sex with you, even though she doesn't like you or find you attractive in any way. She just wants to make sure you don't get mad at her and not give her a spot on the podcast like you promised. That is known as sexual coercion. So this is what DJ Academics was insinuating against Adam, and I count it as an allegation. So allegedly, Adam was pressuring Selena Powell into doing pornography on the Plug Talk show when she never wanted to do that. She just wanted to make sure that Adam didn't cancel her podcast that she had set up on the No Jumper platform. So Selena Powell is the ex-girlfriend of blogger DJ Academics, and when DJ Academics found out that Selena Powell had been dabbling in the pornography, that's when all hell broke loose. DJ Academics got really, really mad at Adam, you know, for pressuring his ex-girlfriend into doing porn, which she never wanted to do, and he did a live stream with Selena Powell exposing Adam and basically basically, they both insinuated that Adam was a human trafficker / sexual coercioner, using this coercion tactic to traffic women to his Plug Talk show. Very, very disturbing, terrifying stuff. Of course, everything I have just said is alleged, and nothing is stated as a proven fact. All right, so this is going to be a clip of Adam propositioning Selena Powell to do the Plug Talk porn stuff in a voice chat.
Between me and you, keep this low key. Me and Lena have been working on the idea for the past couple weeks or months of basically us doing like a podcast. It's going to be primarily a porn / podcast thing. So like a typical episode might be you and your friend both haven't shot real actual porn yet, right? Well, what if we, for one of the first episodes of this podcast, you know, we have male talent.
Cheers, Selena, cheers!
With a huge dick. And then it's like, I mean, we could do sex. We could just do a blowjob, whatever. But either way, I mean, you guys are obviously going to make an insane amount of money off it. We'd also pay you guys X amount of dollars. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this.
Okay, so now Selena's going to talk about how she never wanted to do the porn, and she only went through with it because she didn't want to make Adam and Lena cancel her show on the No Jumper network.
I didn't know how to really say no because I really wanted this podcast. I didn't want to like be a porn star. Like, I don't want any of that.
Let me ask you a question. Did you feel that if you said, hey, Lena Maxwell, hey, Adam Epstein, I do not want to do this sexual scene, do you feel like they may have said, okay, cool, so you're not with us, we don't want to continue your podcast? Did you feel like your podcast was in jeopardy?
Duh, 100%.
It seems like he was trying to coerce you into doing sexual acts. Is that true?
Dude, like, I feel like if I don't say yes to this, like, he's going to take my show away. So we signed the paper, and then that's when I seen that I was only getting $500. Yes, I did tell Adam when we were discussing the porn star, because the porn star said he'll do it for $5,000. And when I sent it to them, they're like, what the fuck? We're not paying nobody no $5,000. Low-key, me and Eliza, we told each other, like, yo, we ain't doing shit without 10K. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I didn't know porn stars get paid. Porn is the worst industry.
An insane amount of money off it.
And big surprise, Selena Powell's podcast did get canceled. And if I was to guess, it would be because she didn't want to become, you know, one of Adam's actresses.
I was only getting $500.
An insane amount of money off it. We'd also pay you guys X amount of dollars. But yeah.
The claim that Adam doesn't want to pay the girls very much money really supports the theory that Adam tends to target newcomers so he can lowball them, you know, be like, oh, you're getting all this exposure being on the No Jumper, you know, plus, you know, and then he just gives them $500. Adam even says in that voice text to Selena that he wants to do this with girls that aren't into porn, and then he gets them to do porn for the first time. That's kind of weird, right? It's kind of like what happened with this girl.
And Adam was like, what are you willing to like do this right now live, like for real? And I'm like, fuck yeah, like, and somehow
that
Adam
was some
got
way
me.
you just had to know Adam didn't get you to do shit.
He did.
Your ass
Watch
did it.
the fucking thing.
Don't
Watch
fucking
the
lie.
thing.
No, but you were with it.
I wasn't even a porn star yet.
No, come on.
I was just like a little fangirl out here fucking doing anything to be on this podcast. Like, hey, look at me. But obviously I was like, fuck, this is awesome. Like, this is gonna get me a lot of followers and new traffic because I'm on fucking Plug Talk. This is amazing.
Just to get 5 seconds of fame, sweetie, 5 seconds of clout. That's what, yeah, all right, even though I would say no to this shit, I'm gonna still say yes because I want more followers.
She kept saying like, ew, he's not that cute. I don't want to do it.
It ain't like you're doing it for a major bag.
Right. We know a lot of girls who do sex tapes for a lot less than $1 million subscribers.
I'm not like that anymore.
Yeah,
with what I do for a living, fuck no.
But I know that it's not even really necessarily about the money for you. It's about just having people you want to feel loved, even if the feeling is just, we know it's fake, but you still cling to that. You'll go broke tomorrow to keep that validation. You'll break